Greetings. Welcome to the Captive Desk. I was thinking about making a video about being a non believer and good without God when fate stepped in with a video I came across from Deconverted Man titled, "To the Deconverted, You Are Not Alone." I will post a link in the description. I was struggling with what to say as I have heard many other people talk about their struggles with leaving their faith, and my story I didn't think compared or could offer much advice. Seeing Deconverted Man's video changed my mind, and I thought I will post my story, even if it is a short one, and proclaim that I am a non believer and why. So here goes. My name is Dave. I am happily married for 33 years and counting. We own a home in the suburbs. We have two sons, two dogs, one cat, and fish in a garden pond I enjoy as a hobby. I am a non believer. I do not follow any religions, nor do I believe in any of their gods. I suppose I was never really a serious believer beyond being told as a child there is a God, so there must be a God. My conversion story, so to speak, is pretty simple. Growing up, we went to church as a family. I went to Sunday school, and I completed eighth grade confirmation. And I became a member of the church as my mother wanted. I cannot remember it clearly, but I must have shown a disinterest in going to church the older I got. But I promised my mom I would finish confirmation around eighth grade, and there was no pressure for me to go to church after that from my parents, nor did I desire to go after confirmation was completed. My mother would say, "You need a place to be married and buried in," as the saying went. And I was married there. It is a beautiful old church that had no air conditioning. We had a lovely, although very hot, wedding ceremony with a very sweet lady presiding, with many friends and family attending. For me, going to church was what families did on Sundays. And I guess that is how I saw what going to church was: praying to God, macaroni art, and family time, where weddings and sadly funerals too were held. And like many other things, as children get older, the family time activities change and get replaced with other things we did with friends and girlfriends, and not just family time for the kids. As the toys were put away, entered sports, hobbies, dating, getting that first job, cars, concerts, growing up. I have no ill will against anyone at church. We went to a United Methodist church that was very progressive for the 1970s. They were welcoming and friendly and diverse and all the things I thought churches were about. I would find out later in life I was a bit naive, and that not all churches were so loving, welcoming, and diverse, and that many had a dark side with a dark history. But it wasn't an issue in my experiences at church. I had a great childhood. I had a younger brother. I had both parents at home. We spent time with family friends, grandparents, uncles, and aunts and cousins. My uncle had a boat, and we would often go out on the lake fishing with him and our cousins. We had lots of kids in our neighborhood to be friends with as well, and not having anything to do or no one to play with was never a problem. My father worked in a factory, and my mother was a secretary. We went to church, but my parents never preached to us that I can remember, and always supported any interests we had. I had a microscope and a telescope, and my brother had a drum set. We were not wealthy, but we did not lack for things. We had a nice suburban home with a yard. We had new clothes, plenty of toys. We had pets, and there was always food in the house. We went on family vacations, and my parents were active in school activities, sports, scouting, any interest my brother and I had or were involved in. So were our parents, and they were supportive. I did not suffer from health issues or tragedies beyond what many people do or did. I had chicken pox. I had my tonsils out, a few stitches here and there, generally minor things. And then the inevitable, the passing of great grandparents, grandparents, and other relatives and friends of the family. And sadly, a friend or two that died from a car accident or sudden illness that never got to grow old. But such is the way of things. People get sick, people die. Good things happen to bad people, and bad things happen to good people. Everyone has good days, and everyone has bad days. This is how life is for believers and non believers alike. Now that I'm older, and my kids are grown, the lines in my face are getting clearer, and the gray hairs are setting in. As I reflect on the many years of experiences, life lessons, and the wisdom and knowledge accumulated in this old noggin, after decades of reading and hearing philosophers, apologists, preachers, and evangelists and believers of all sorts put up their best arguments for God's, considering them, analyzing them, thinking about them through and over again, I have heard none that have convinced me otherwise, and see no good reasons to think any gods, nor anything supernatural for that matter, exists, nor even if they did, that they do not change how anything is or will be. That, for all intents and purposes, equates to not existing. If you are struggling with your faith, if you have doubts, if you think you won't be able to live a happy life doubting your beliefs or leaving them behind, you can. You've been dealing with life this whole time on your own, and you have made it this far in life on your own. Good days and bad, because you got up in the morning, took a shower, had breakfast, and faced the world like believers and non believers alike. You may struggle telling those around you that you no longer believe or are questioning your faith. I understand. So do many others. You are not alone. It can be difficult to tell your spouse, friends, family, peers, and the congregation you no longer believe. As a non believer, I offer my story. I offer my love. I offer my support. I offer a sympathetic ear. I can tell you that you are not alone, that many people have faced leaving their religion or are having a crisis of faith. It's very difficult for many, and there is no magic wand nor magic words that I can offer to make it all better. However, you can know that you are not alone, that there are people you can talk to. There's a large online community of non believers, and in some areas, there are humanist, atheist, and agnostic organizations that host in person events for non believers and those struggling with their faith. Know that if you are a member of the clergy, there are priests, pastors, and rabbis that struggle with their faith or have left it. Organizations like the Clergy Project provide support, community, and hope for deconverted religious professionals. Know that many have faced questioning their faith that understand, care, and will share their experiences with you too. From history, we know the world community is an ever changing, advancing, and evolving species that, yes, faced and faces many stumbling blocks along the way. But overall, we strive for a better life for ourselves and the many, with the early understandings on controlling irrigation and digging wells, up to the modern technologies that feed and cure and help the many have a better life on a grand scale. And along the way, many beliefs in many supernatural things have come and gone and have changed. Few to none fear the wrath of Zeus anymore. Few to none believe lightning is an angry god's wrath, but rather accept it as a natural occurrence in our atmosphere. In the 21st century, we know few to none believe curses or demons or a god's wrath makes them ill or cause an injury. Today, we understand what causes many illnesses. Few to none seek out a priest and incantations when we are sick. Believers and non believers alike seek out medical professionals to cure or treat us. Our species not only accepts change, we excel at it. We can thank our survival to our ability to change and adapt to new things. We live through changing times. We see changes over generations. We see changes through history. It is okay to change your ideals, beliefs, and traditions, as people have always done so and continue to do so. It's a natural progression as a social species to change, as we learn, grow, and work with others for the betterment of us as a species, as individuals, and for everyone in the global community as well. We can be the change we want there to be in the world. It's proven out. Societies change, governments change, religions change, beliefs and ideals change. It is ingrained in us as a species to adapt, progress, and thrive as a species because we do change and can do it very well. What I know is, presently, the nuns are the fastest growing group globally, surpassing all religions in numbers but two, and nipping at their heels. People by the millions leave beliefs and religions, or at least organized religions, behind them annually. It may seem like you're alone in the world at times, with your questions or doubts about leaving your faith behind. But you are not alone. You are in good company with millions of others. Until enough time passes when I think the nuns will be the norm, and it will be a far, far better world for it, in my opinion. Thank you for watching. I wish you well. I hope in some small way my video helps. I hope everything works out for the best.